If you're new to my videos, be sure to tap of that like button, tap of that subscribe button, and the notification bell to be notified of more future content. Yo YouTube, what is good? It's RJP here, and I'm coming at you hot with some Assassin's Creed Odyssey news. And man, Ubisoft and Assassin's Creed is just the gift that keeps on giving. They've just been dropping news on us left and right ever since the E3 reveal. They've been talking about the romance options, how endings change based on what choices you make throughout your journey. They basically took a page out of BioWare's playbook and how they did the Mass Effect series. And I mean, besides the ending of Mass Effect 3, we're not going to talk about that right now, but I am a huge fan of the Mass Effect series, so I'm all for that, and I am hyped for this game right now. Ubisoft did a recent survey that suggests the type of content that Assassin's Creed Odyssey will receive on a season pass. And I know what y'all thinking, DLC, here we go again. They cutting the game short, trying to haggle us for our money. And you know, I mean, I kind of feel the same way, but at the same time, I understand why developers do this. It's not just to haggle us for all our money. I mean, that's the main reason, obviously, but it's also to keep the game going as long as it can, especially if it's a single player game and has no multiplayer. They have to keep up with the multiplayer games out there, like Fortnite for instance, that just keeps dropping DLC, keep adding new content to their games. So DLC is important in its own way. So I'ma just go ahead and put the bullet points on the screen to show you what they talked about in this survey, and if you can't see it, I will gladly list them all off for you and then give my thoughts on which ones I'm most excited for after the fact. And keep in mind that none of this is really set in stone, because this is just a survey for the fans, so they're still working plans and, you know, going with the flow pretty much. So yeah, they talked about a new storyline set in a new area, new missions played in the same world as the main game, a pack of Helix cards, a DLC that lets me expand my character's progressions like higher level, new gear, new abilities, exclusive perks for season pass members, early access to DLC, weekly episodic story missions with established and or new characters. That could be very interesting if that's put in. A DLC that focuses on an entirely new character with its own progression system, new gear and equipment, which is pretty much a given because in games like this, there's always new gear and equipment, so that you can pretty much put that in. A new mode that introduces elements generally not seen in an Assassin's Creed video game like magic, mythical creatures, exclusive items, new abilities that do not exist in the main game. And that's pretty much all they talked about in the survey, so I'm gonna just go ahead and give my thoughts on which one I might be interested in. There are basically two bullet points that have stood out to me through this whole survey, and the first one is a DLC that focuses on an entirely new character with its own progression system. Not because we get to control a new character per se, but Ubisoft did say that the choices we make will impact the ending, and that just stands out to me because what if our new character has to deal with the consequences of those choices if it's set after the main game? Man, I would enjoy that. That'd be BioWare 101 right there. Like if I kill King Leonidas and Greece just gets thrown into a frenzy, they just all going berserk. If your new character has to deal with those consequences, man, that would be fun. Don't y'all agree? I mean, let me know in the comment section how you feel about that. And then also a new mode that introduces like mythical creatures and magic. And the magic part, not really, but the mythical creatures, if I get to fight Medusa or if I get to fight a god and rip their goddamn heads off, man, oh man, you know how intense those boss fights would be? I'm very interested in that. Like, let me rip Medusa's head off and then use her head to turn people to stone. That sounds insane. Like, honestly, I don't even know why they call this game Assassin's Creed, because we're not really assassins. We should go the full mile. We should fight some gods. We should be the one-man wrecking crew. At least that's how I feel. You can also write down in the comment section how you feel about that. Let me know down in the comment section what bullet points you're most excited for when it comes to DLC. And I think I'm gonna wrap this video up right here, so be sure to tap of that like button, tap of that subscribe button with the notification bell to be notified of more future content. It's your boy RJP, and I guess we gone.
Candy paint with the white on top. Lambo doors or the woo up drop. If you busy plotting on what I got, kick in your door and swat you thought. $100,000 on the tabletop. Half price my whip, same price my watch. Got no jumper, but I ball a lot. Bitch on your stony, I do what I want.